Why am I buying the Graph's native token called GRT over Bitcoin? It's because simply I believe that it hypothetically has a lot more room to grow. Now, of course, that's not a guarantee. Also, that's definitely not financial advice. But here's the thing. If GRT were to go to the price of $5, considering current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $48 billion. And that's around a 28x from here. Again, if it were to reach the price of $5. Now, do I think that this is crazy market cap? First of all, no, because around a $48 billion market cap, it's kind of like very small in the grand scheme of things. We've seen Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. We've seen BNB reach over 100 billion. So yeah, this isn't some sort of like crazy, insane market cap that's never been seen before. No, that's not the case. However, besides that point, if let's say Bitcoin on the flip side were to do a 28x from here, at that point, the price would be around $1.8 million, which is kind of insane to think about. And also on top of that, market cap, considering current circulating supply, would be around $36 trillion, which is crazy. Now, let's break this down, right? Do I think that Bitcoin is going to do bad? Absolutely not. I think during this bull run, it could do okay. Like going to the price of $150,000, let's say, that wouldn't be surprising to me whatsoever. But reaching, like in this case, around $1.8 million, especially during this bull run, no, I don't think so. In the very long term, that's a different case. But like, again, specifically during this bull run, yeah, I just don't think so. Again, you take a look at the market cap, around $36 trillion at that point. The GDP of Canada back in 2022 was around $2 trillion. So yeah, this isn't, I think realistic for Bitcoin again, especially during like a 1 year time span from right now. I just don't think it's a possibility. Sometimes I ask myself this question, what's more likely to even, let's say, do over a 10x during this bull run, Bitcoin or GRT? I think hands down GRT. That's even if we tone things down. I think that hands down GRT is just a much better pick for me from an investment standpoint of view. I get it. Bitcoin has the ETF, a lot of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption is just through the roof. I understand that. But again, I'm in the world of cryptocurrencies to get potential gains. If I got in Bitcoin like 10 years ago, fine. However, as of right now, I would much rather prefer something like GRT. Now, here's the thing. It's not like the graph has bad fundamentals either, because sometimes people like to say that, oh, wow, it's so trash, it's so cack, all this. But no, I disagree, because if we take a look at the graph, what is it focused on, right? The graph is an open source software that is designed to collect, store, and process data from various blockchain applications. So yeah, that's how amazing it is. Now, it should be noted, right? What is the benefit of something like this? Because people may think that, oh, wow, this sounds kind of fancy, just a bunch of jargon, though. No, that's not true, because this is actually done for information retrieval. So this right here is very important, in my opinion. But even besides that, we take a look at how it's even been noted that the primary goal of the graph is to help developers use relevant data to increase the efficiency of their decentralized applications. So yeah, this right here is very fantastic. Now, it should be noted that the graph gathers and stores various blockchain data before storing it into various indices. Now, in this case, these indices are called subgraphs. So yeah, I think that should be taken into consideration. But even beyond that, we'll see that this allows any application to send a query to its protocol and receive an immediate response, which I think is very fantastic. Now, it's also even been stated that queries are posed through decentralized applications through something called GraphQL. And by the way, GraphQL is a widely used language that was originally developed by Facebook. Anyone can use subgraphs to power applications across 50 plus networks, which include Polygon, Ethereum, Moonriver, Moonbeam, Harmony, and many others. I mean, that right there is very impressive. These are real deal players right here. So this is very fantastic. At least that's the way I take a look at it. Not to mention, right, the graph is currently being utilized by popular Ethereum decentralized applications such as Aave, Curve, and even Uniswap as well. So yeah, I think when I take a look at the graph, this right here is very amazing. It helps developers, again, use relevant data to help increase the efficiency of their decentralized application. I think when it comes to the graph, the journey is far from over. When people take a look at some other projects out there that are based off hype, based off of, fans, they can disappear once the hype and fans are gone. That's just the truth of it, right? But when it comes to the graph, it's a project that doesn't disappear when the fans are gone. Because if you think about it, there's going to be more developers, right? There's going to be more decentralized applications to come in the future. Even though there's like thousands upon thousands as of right now, it's just only natural that more are going to pop up, because as the blockchain space grows, as blockchain adoption increases, as the crypto space overall gains more attention, it's only fair to assume that, of course, again, these developers are going to need to use relevant data to increase the efficiency of their decentralized application. So when it comes to the graph, I think this right here is so fantastic. Oftentimes people focus on like meme coins, they focus on AI projects, and there's nothing wrong with that. I believe in those too. But sometimes people ignore the niche that the graph is focused on. And the crazy thing about it is that there's actually not that many good projects, I would say, arguably speaking, that are focused on the graph's niche. It's kind of the market leader in a sense when it comes to this. That's just the way I view it. So then when the hype comes in for, let's say, these type of projects, the graph is really in a prime position to catch that wave. And I really can't wait. A lot of the times people like to say that the graph is caca, it's all this type of stuff. Well, it may not be the most flashy. It may not be the most interesting. It may not have the most hype. It may not update the most on X, right? Arguably speaking. But hey, in terms of its fundamentals, I think it's very fantastic. At least that's my opinion. And why would it do bad during this bull run? You know, there's currently over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which is so insane if you think about it, because during the peak of the 2021 bull run, at that time, there was roughly only around 300 million crypto owners. However, you fast forward to right now, there's pretty much double. There's over 600 million crypto owners, which again means that there's more people owning cryptocurrencies than ever before in history, at least according to Crypto.com research. This right here is fantastic. Also, again, just like I mentioned earlier on the video, the Bitcoin ETF, the number of institutional investors, you know, I think Bitcoin is poised for great heights. Even though personally speaking for me, I don't want to acquire any Bitcoin, it can't be denied that a lot of altcoins, much like GRT, they're going to greatly depend on Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin goes to the price of like 100,000, 150,000, I think it's only fair to assume that something like GRT is going to go along with that ride. And I do believe that Bitcoin could do that, hypothetically, because again, when you have all those amazing factors, also the amount of crypto owners, I really don't see why not. Now, do I think it's going to happen like this year? No, I think it's going to happen in 2025. Now, could it happen this year? I guess you'll never know. But in my opinion, you know, I think that 2025 is more realistic. It's more time as of right now, at least for people to change their sentiment, because sentiment when it comes to cryptos isn't the best as of right now. People are primarily just focusing on meme coins currently. But I think better days are ahead. And even historically speaking, this could very well be the case. Usually, as a worst case scenario, altcoins, they've been known to peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April, so 18 months from then would mean around October of next year. So that's actually a year from right now, which is kind of crazy to think about. So it's actually not that much longer anyways. Now, how am I preparing myself for that? It's by simply dollar cost averaging. That's it. So anytime I earn income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. It's so simple. You know, it literally requires like no technical analysis, day trading, you know, using leverage. None of that, right? I don't have to pull up a price chart, draw random triangles, draw random underwear. No, I don't have to do that. Literally so simple. If I believe in a project, I just acquire, hold, and I just wait. That's it. And also, if I only have one shot, let's say, I will need two options, right? Bitcoin or GRT. You know, hands down for this bull run, I'm going to put all my eggs into GRT, you know, into that basket, so to speak, if only I have two options, right? Again, GRT or Bitcoin. Now, why is that? It's because even though a lot of influencers out there say they go all in on, you know, Bitcoin, they say that it's fantastic, all this type of stuff. I'm not denying that Bitcoin is, you know, good or anything like that. I'm not denying that. But I think that if these people have like millions upon millions of dollars, then they're all good. Because think about this, right? If they, let's say, put like $3 million, Bitcoin does like a 3x, they're going to Sizzler at that point, going to Applebee's. You know what I mean? So when it comes to, you know, someone, let's say, hypothetically has way less than that, is it really logical to, you know, look for a 2 or 3x? I don't really know about that. Now, that's not financial advice, not a guarantee, but that's just the way I view it. Not to mention, right? If, let's say, I even had like $10 million, I still wouldn't put anything into Bitcoin. Why would I do that? Because, again, I'm in the world of cryptocurrencies to look for potential gains. If I'm looking for like a 2 or 3x, I'll get into like the S&P 500 or something like that. You know, I'll get into stocks, you know, kind of like that quote unquote boring stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be looking at cryptocurrencies because, again, I'm looking for potential gains. I'm not looking for like, you know, dinosaurs. In a sense, when it comes to the investment standpoint of view, I'm not calling Bitcoin, you know, a dinosaur in terms of like, you know, the adoption and whatnot. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, again, a 2 or 3x, that just kind of feels like a dinosaur at this point. You know, I'm not an archaeologist, man. I'm not looking for dinosaurs. I'm not looking for dinosaur bones. I'm looking for what could hypothetically be the next big thing, not necessarily what is the big thing, if that makes sense. And oftentimes people like to say that, oh yeah, when it comes to GRT, the hype is done, all this type of stuff. But here's the thing. Even if, let's say, mass adoption for the graph doesn't happen in the next 6 months or whatever like that, it doesn't really matter, because if you take a look at it, sometimes the hype and anticipation alone is already enough. You take a look at meme coins, right? They're not even focused on any market, quite essentially, but they achieve great heights. So in the world of cryptocurrencies, sometimes, again, the hype and anticipation is already enough for such an amazing rally. And you got to think about this. When it comes to the graph, there's a very crazy statistic. As of right now, on the Graph network and hosted service, there has been over 75,000 projects. So adoption is pretty good. There's still a ways to go, but this is fantastic. Also, over 1 trillion queries served. And furthermore, on the Graph network, there has also been over 100 indexer nodes as well. So yeah, that's kind of like a mic drop moment right there. That's how amazing the graph is. Of course, this mic is very amazing. Take a look at that. But even besides that, it's just kind of a say, if that makes sense. And by the way, if you want to know my exit strategy when it comes to GRT, if you want to know what I'm holding in my portfolio, you want to know what projects I'm looking at, and also on top of that, you want me to review your portfolio, you can feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description below if you want to. And also on top of that, if you want to become a channel member, I think there are many amazing benefits. Like, for instance, I used to try to respond to every single comment, but it became increasingly difficult as of right now. So if you become a channel member, that way I can prioritize responding to your comments, because, your username will have a highlight. It'll say it's a member. So of course, I can, again, prioritize your response. However, again, if you want to. And again, GRT at the price of $5 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I would much rather choose it over Bitcoin. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.